Yeah, people, this is Roger Moore here from Affinity Xtra Celebrated Gospel Music of Black Origin, and I'm gonna try and keep this as 100 as possible. I tend to kind of have rants and not rants, just responses to what's going out there from what I feel. Excuse the wiring that's going on. Just trying to sort myself out. But listen, I've been we're gonna be doing a special episode on RVM, Roger Marino's show, where we talk about football, but we're obviously talking from a racial perspective, in terms of not a racial perspective, but from a black perspective. How we see music, how we see it as black footballers and enthusiasts out there. Still, not trying to see it from any other way, but how we see it. And unfortunately, guys, we are at it again. Unfortunately, we're definitely gonna do a live about this. So when you see this video, you might want to click over to the live that we're gonna be hosting on the show with a number of our presenters. Myself, Anthony, I believe Mark's gonna drop in too. I reckon Mello might drop in as well. We're gonna talk about racism. Firstly, before we get too much into the Vinny Jones situation, he said, Roger, are you qualified to talk about this? We don't suffer with this before. My opening statement, I don't care if you chop this up, cut it up, send it to UEFA, send it to FIFA, send it to FA, whatever they're so when it comes to racism, when it comes to treating people that are not looking like them, when it comes to black folk, when it comes to Africans, people of African descent, and you might look at me and thinking, yes, African descent, I'm of African descent, we get treated different. We get treated worse, and our struggle is ignored. We are bottom of the pile, and they continue to show this. You're talking to a guy who when I was young, I took responsibility of a team called Clarendon. It was my first season, 2002, and we were beating all the top teams in the league, in the Christian league, and which I'm now chair of, because I believe you have to fight things from within and change things anyway. Still, and I don't forget a player called a player monkey on the pitch. And we looked at the referee heard it. The referee still refs us to this day. And he just said, player. I raised that in the week before. Heskey got racially abused in Slovakia, and people complained about it. But really, players were getting racially abused in the UK. This was in 2002. You might say this is back in 2002, but apparently by then there was no racism anyway in the country. The way we got rid of it. So, that really happened, didn't it? Why do I say this? There was nothing that the referee could do. There's no laws, there's no nothing, which I've emphasized. There's no push from FIFA to change things, and you can call people a monkey on the pitch and get away with it. That's the sad part. So, does that annoy me? Yeah. Now you got someone like Vinícius Júnior, who is a top baller. Top footballer, and they are what I do rate with him, and a lot of footballers have conformed. We've kept quiet. I kept quiet about being called a monkey. I could have really took it all the way. Not like nothing would have happened, but I could have done a lot more with it. But I showed grace towards the league, and when I went to this day, that's my biggest regret. Not because I wanted the league to be cancelled. I believe that in today's world, I would have pressed criminal charges. That world right then, we take it, move on, and the best way we knew how was to win, and we became the most successful team ever in the Christian league. But taking that away from that, this Vinícius Júnior situation really is highlighting the blatant racial prejudice that's in amongst football, from a referee perspective, from a system perspective, and even the players of old inability to stand up and say what's wrong. Pundits as well, ex-players, ex-referees, the comments around it. I've been listening the person who I struggled to listen to for too long, not because he was chatting rubbish, because he was chatting so real. He's like, he said, do you know what it's like to be racially abused? I mean, told, don't worry about it, sticks and stones will break, you know, almost like, don't worry about it, you know, but you call anybody else's name, yo, it's abuse. But call a black guy that, don't worry, he'll get over it. So tell me, when I'm watching Vinny Jr. celebrate his goal, he celebrated his goal, he started dancing like all Brazilians have danced in the corner flag, nothing new. His goal was absolutely brilliant after they already lost at Benfica a few weeks before, and now they're there. And you're telling me an Argentinian, I won't go too much into Argentina, allegedly had to do this, mask up and call him monkey 4-5 times, and thought he could get away with it. Now, if you have a witness, I must admit, even if people are not really down, they do say that's bait, he's obviously done something wrong. Yeah. But guys, soon as Mbappe believe, if Mbappe heard him say that, the guy should be charged and given 10 match ban automatically from when you have a witness. But I notice I did all this cross-arm thing, racial check in there and whatever, which CDF said he's been pushing for and whatsoever. It's great, but you can't prove anything if you have to cover their mouth. So basically what they're saying is you can racially abuse people as long as they can't tell via video evidence. You can just racially abuse them. So we're not taking on what Vinny said can't be taken on, which I respect because I know, you know, people can call it out. But listen, from when he's got his thing like this, they should have sent him off. What has just happened? They have said, you can get away. You can get away with this as long as you cover your mouth and no one can't tell on video. We won't take it up. Send the guy off. And you watch, no, everybody stop doing it. They put it down because they said, you know what? If you do this, it's obviously being abusive. It's obvious. So for me, we're going to break this down. We're going to go into it as a team and whatsoever, yeah? But I'm giving you from a perspective who has been somebody who's been racially abused. And before you say, oh, Roger, you can't say, yes, I can. Listen, my Christ, I love, man. I love people. This is not no anti anybody, but I'm just telling you as it is. I am not going to keep quiet like my dad's generation, like the generation before, and be thankful for being abused. No, I'm standing up for it because I want better for my children and my children's children. So this is not nothing against anybody else, but to protect people who look like me, because the suicides, the doubt of people fulfilling their potential means that another generation goes missing. I've watched a generation disappear. I've seen talented young footballers move away because of the abuse. They can't handle it. The ones who make it could handle the abuse. But I rate Vinny because if he gets abused, he calls it out. He walks off the pitch. He knows the power. And of all the black players out there, I'm asking other black players, are you complicit? If you're a Benfica player who's black, and if you heard what the guy said, if you had walked off the pitch, this was an excuse from Mourinho, and yeah, Mourinho got no respect, but bro, he said the greatest player for Portugal, for Benfica is Eusebio. 100%. 100% he's the best player. But that doesn't mean nothing. We know who the best athletes in the world are. Black people. That doesn't mean that the fans aren't racist. Don't compute. Doesn't mean that whatever. So making stupid statements like that It just takes the mic. Guys, ultimately, what I'm saying is that once again, this is my conclusion. We're gonna discuss it with a group or whatever. We're gonna discuss it. Brothers, you're gonna chop it up. We're gonna discuss it. What I'm is absorbing everybody else's responses, but I need to respond because it's my responsibility as somebody who produces media, puts information out there. Still, yeah, I am not going to pussyfoot around this anymore. Yeah, no, I never did anyway. Still, yeah. End of the day, still, yeah. UEFA don't care. FIFA don't care. The FA don't care. They do not care that black players get abused, because I see that there's nothing you can do through football rules apart from this new Wakanda Forever thing that referees do and have a look at it now. Yeah, that happens. How has it succeeded if the guy's walked off the pitch and he's got away with it? He can't even deny what he said on his own social media. If somebody said I was being racially abused or abusive to somebody, I'll be like, no. The man's guilty as heck. Everybody can see that. Give me 10 games and done. But no, nothing will happen. Everybody will leave it alone and leave it there. So that's why how I am. But we are gonna chop it up. If you see this afterwards or before the video, but we are gonna chop it up, and I'll put I'll make sure I see if I can put a link to that in this anyway. Still, yeah. So do check it out anyway. So we will be doing this because it has to be highlighted. Things can change. Things have to change, and we're gonna use our platforms not to pretend. And people know what I mean by this in our community. Buffoon our way out of this just for the plays and the clicks. I don't really care if I get 2 plays if I speak the truth. I am not going to be clickbaiting in terms of making everybody feel good because I'm going, oh yes, they're so great. I don't know what's wrong. Vinny Jr. needs to calm down. Vinny got a yellow card for celebrating because he's black. Nothing else. That's not Roger being over exaggerated. That's the reality because he's black. He gets called monkey because he's black. Black people, believe it or not, he got called monkey because he's black. Not because he's got dreads or hairstyles different. Because he's a great footballer. Because he's black. Can we not pretty this up? And then we can deal with it and move forward. Too often we apologize for this rubbish. So guys, this is Roger the Affinity Xtra, keeping it 100. I'll be helpful because you know what? I've seen the abuse. I've received the abuse. Yeah, I'm saying I'm not jumping on this because yeah, it's flavor. It's to get hit clicks and baits. You know I call this out when I'm ready. Yeah. Not when I'm ready. Whenever it happens, I call it out. Listen, this is how we do on Affinity Xtra. Nothing but love, my people.
Hi, and thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe, you like, and you comment, and make sure that you're sharing the videos and watching so much more. We have loads of content for you. I hope you enjoy.